Hello and welcome to Brodual. I'm Dom.
And I'm Withstanding, and welcome to week 6 of Bits and Bobs, where we outline this week's best mods. And to start us off, we have the Hobbit Hole Player Home. The mod adds a player home based on the Hobbit houses from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and has everything an adventurer needs, including a bed, a cooking spit, chests, bookcases, and even a newly added basement. The house looks great, and you can really see that it's based on the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so if you're a fan, you should definitely download this mod.
There's been quite a few new animation mods this week, and one that caught our eye was the one-handed sword animations mod. The creator has included 3 new combat animations, as well as 2 optional block and 1 optional idle animation. With the mod, the standing still swing right animation now lifts the sword to the back of the player's head and then slashes across. The swing left animation lifts the sword over the shoulder and then slashes left. And when moving to the right and swinging your sword, the player will now do a normal attack followed by a much smoother spinning power attack animation. Generally the changes are small but effective, and as a person who plays an archer, I immediately noticed and enjoyed the new animations.
If you're more of a two-handed sword user, this next mod might be more for you. The Tamrielic lore Chrysamere mod adds a new weapon to Skyrim called Chrysamere, which is described as the Paladin sword, the sword of heroes. To get the sword you'll need to do a small quest in Solitude, but it's worth it as the sword is pretty powerful and has some very strong enchantments. Chrysamere gives 25% fire resistance and will constantly restore 3 hit points per second, regardless if you're in combat or not. And while blocking, the sword will reflect all detrimental spells that are casted against you. The mod is the first in a future line of mods that will add some other artifacts from previous Elder Scrolls games into Skyrim, so keep an eye out for those if you like this mod.
Next up we have Naturalistic Werewolves. The mod replaces the default werewolf model with a heavily modified version that's intended to look dangerous without looking grotesque. The creator also says the model was partly inspired by the werewolves of Blood Moon. The new model also comes with a new transformation animation, with the character's items being unequipped before the animation plays, and with the werewolf model fading in closer to the character model for a more natural transformation.
If you'd rather customise your character instead of the werewolf skin, ESP Expanded Skyrim presets can help. It adds 345 new presets to Skyrim's character creation menu, including more than 300 NPC presets. If you ever wanted to play through Skyrim looking like Ulfric Stormcloak, now you can. The mod doesn't overwrite any of the original 200 presets, so with this mod you'll have 545 presets at your disposal. We've always been a big fan of mods that give the player more choice in the aesthetic aspects of the game, and this is no different. It's a mod everyone should download.
83 Willows released a JENASSA Makeover mod this week, and for those of you who don't know, JENASSA is a Dark Elf follower that can be found in the Drunken Huntsman in Whiterun. The goal of the mod is to improve JENASSA's looks in a way which both reflects her skills as an assassin and her racial characteristics as a Dark Elf. The mod includes changes to her facial structure, as well as giving her a unique warpaint design, and the overall change is quite dramatic, but it's a welcome one, and the changes in our opinion are a much better fit for JENASSA. This mod alone won't complete JENASSA's look, and the creator recommends using 3 different mods to change her eyes to the one we have in the video, a mod to change her skin tone, and another to remove any dirt from her body.
Next up we have Lilith's Reaver, a custom sword and greatsword. The mod enables 4 different weapons to be crafted: a regular one-handed Reaver, a larger version of that one-handed Reaver, a two-handed Reaver with basic two-handed sword animations, and another two-handed Reaver that has the animations of a two-handed axe. The weapons are quite powerful, but that's countered by a high crafting cost, so the mod does stay lore friendly. This is another mod made by the same person that made the Disemboweler we featured last week, and they have more weapons than just those 2, so check out their Nexus profile for more.
Next up we have Rayeks End, a new hideout added to the game which can be found to the south of Whiterun, through a waterfall and into the hidden entrance. The inside features everything you'll ever need in a hideout, including a full forge, a bedroom, labelled storage, weapon racks, mannequins, a cooking pot, and more. The creator has also included a map marker allowing for easy access to and from the hideout, as well as a custom sword named Rayeks Blade, which is a Nightingale clone with frost damage found on the floor of the hideout. The creator is also planning to expand on the hideout by taking user suggestions, as well as having a few of his own plans to possibly add alternate entrances, secret storage, and more.
This next mod adds the option to smelt unenchanted weapons back to their respective ingots at a smelter. The ingots you receive will depend on what you melt down. Daedric equipment gives you 2 Daedra hearts, Dwarven 2 Dwarven ingots, Ebony 2 Ebony ingots, and so on. To smelt the item, simply go to any smelter and find the item you want to take apart and you'll receive the respective ingot. It's a great addition to the game, and it gives you a use for all the gear you find lying around Skyrim.
And now we have a new armour made this week called Winterscale, and you can craft this light armour at any forge under the Dragon tab, and it's for males and females. The armour's stats are just below that of Dragonscale armour, making the set a viable endgame gear option, also keeping it lore friendly, which a lot of recent armour mods have failed to do. The creator has also added an optional file which changes the colours of the scales of the armour from a white silver seen in the video to a more golden colour, so the choice is yours.
And finally, we'll leave you with a very new but very impressive mod. The Jump Animations mod does what you'd expect. It alters the way your character jumps. The animations were made for females, and as you can see, the animations would look a little weird with a male. The mod changes the animations for forward jumps, right jumps and left jumps, and turns them all into flips. It's a nice little addition to Skyrim that offers a welcome change to the vanilla jumping animations.
And that's it for this week's episode of Bits and Bobs. Leave your suggestions for mod reviews down below, and thanks for watching.